It's Wednesday, December 4th, 2024. The CEO of United Healthcare steps out of his hotel in Midtown New York. He's been staying here ahead of a critical board meeting scheduled that morning, but he needed some fresh air. It's just before 7 a.m. when he starts walking down West 54th Street. In his head, he was mentally rehearsing the speech he was about to give, unaware that someone else is rehearsing something far more sinister. But out of nowhere, a man in a hoodie emerges from the street, moving towards the CEO with a purpose. The man pulls out a suppressed pistol, aims it at the CEO, and fires. The first shot strikes the CEO, knocking him off balance and gasping for air. He then collapses onto the cold pavement. One woman sees what's happening and runs away screaming. He tries to cry out for help, but it's too late. The man in the hoodie steps closer, raises his pistol again, and the CEO's body goes limp. The shooter then calmly walks to a parked electric city bike and vanishes into the early morning fog. And when police arrive hours later, they're faced with a brutal scene, but almost no answers. There were few witnesses willing to talk, and all they had was surveillance footage of this masked man. But they did find just one bizarre clue left behind. 3 shell casings, each one engraved with a word: delay, deny, depose. At first, the police were baffled. What could these words possibly mean? And most importantly, why would anyone want the CEO of the largest healthcare company in America dead? If you're not already familiar, United Healthcare is one of the largest healthcare providers in the United States, covering over 50 million Americans. Since its founding in 1977, it has grown into a healthcare empire, generating an astonishing $281 billion in revenue last year alone, with $22 billion in profit. For shareholders, it was a dream come true, but for the people relying on its services, it was often a nightmare. This insane level of growth didn't just make United Healthcare powerful, it also made them enemies. In October 2023, the US Department of Justice launched an antitrust investigation into United Healthcare's acquisition of Amadice, a major home healthcare company. Of course, this was bad press for the company, and legally, CEO Brian Thompson was required to inform his investors that this was happening. But instead, he kept it a secret. He only told one other person: United's chief accounting officer, Tom Roos. They both knew that this would be awful for the company if the investors and the public had found out about this. So both of them made a decision. Together, they quietly sold over $120 million in company stock just before the DOJ's investigation became public. This was insider trading, and consequently, investors lost billions of dollars overnight. And when investors finally found out, it triggered a financial disaster and a wave of lawsuits. Corporate corruption of this scale could very easily make anybody mad. But that right there also raised another question. If this was just about corporate corruption, wouldn't the killer have targeted both men? And that's when investigators started to look back and come up with a second theory, and realized the key to this mystery wasn't about money, it was about revenge. Delay, deny, depose. These 3 words found on the bullet casings at the scene, they weren't random, they were a message. They were eerily similar to the title of a book called Delay, Deny, Defend by Jay Feynman, a book exposing how insurance companies maximize profits by exploiting their customers. And the book described 3 rules insurance companies use to make profit. Number 1 was delay. Intentionally delaying insurance processes to take as long as possible to pay open claims. Rule number 2 was deny. Denying people life-saving coverage by dictating predatory policy terms. And rule 3 was defend. Defend yourself in court against any claim so you don't have to pay for people's medical expenses. Almost all insurance companies resort to these tactics, and the consequences cost people either complete financial ruin or their lives. But ever since Brian Thompson became a CEO, things took an even darker turn. In November 2023, a shocking class action lawsuit revealed something horrifying. 2 former United employees sued the company because United had allegedly deployed an AI-powered algorithm designed to specifically deny claims to the elderly? I'm sorry, that is up. Doctors would approve life-saving treatments, but the algorithm would automatically reject them. And worse, internal testing showed that 90% of these automated denials were overturned when appealed, meaning that the system was intentionally built to say no regardless of the medical need. And the consequences of insurance company greed like this was literally killing people. Look at this, a guy was charged $275,000 after his mom died because the insurance denied his claim. United Healthcare denied a claim of a 6-year-old child who died of a brain tumor and charged the family $1.4 million. And United Healthcare staff even purposefully training new employees to deny claims. And there are so many more examples of even worse. People weren't just losing money, they were losing their loved ones, their futures, and their lives. And now the meaning of the shell casings became so much more clear. This wasn't about insider trading or corporate greed. This was about something so much deeper. This man had decided that enough was enough. But who was he? After a few days of searching, police finally got a break. On December 9th, 2024, 5 days after the assassination of Brian Thompson, authorities arrested a suspect at a McDonald's in rural Pennsylvania. His name, Luigi Mangione. Luigi wasn't just some random criminal or hired hitman, he was something far more dangerous. Brilliant mind with a deadly purpose. Luigi Mangione was a gifted academic, holding both a master and bachelor's degree in computer science from the prestigious University of Pennsylvania. He graduated as valedictorian from Baltimore's elite Gilman School, and his GitHub page showed advanced projects in machine learning and robotics. He wasn't just intelligent, he was obsessed. An avid reader with 295 books listed on Goodreads, his interests ranged from AI to philosophy to political extremism. And then there was this. Authorities uncovered a chilling review Mangione left on Amazon. He left a review of none other than the Unabomber's manifesto. In it, he called the document prescient and disturbingly justified the use of violence against corporations, writing, "When peaceful protest is ignored, when economic protest is impossible, violence becomes a form of survival. These companies have zero qualms about destroying the planet for profit, so why should we have any qualms about destroying them?" For Luigi Mangione, this wasn't just philosophy, this was war. And Luigi even went a step farther to make his position even more clear. When police searched his belongings, they found a disturbing manifesto written in his own words. In it, he declared, "I acted alone, I was self-funded, and these parasites had it coming." He called the healthcare industry a plague on humanity and claimed violence was the only way to correct the system. And even despite that, it seemed that there was something even more personal. On Luigi's X profile, investigators noticed a strange banner image. And in the center of it was a picture of an X-ray. This X-ray was a picture of his own back. In the photo, we can clearly see he had a lumbar spinal fusion surgery. This type of surgery would be typical for someone who had degenerative disc disease, a surgery that can be life-saving. That is, if your insurance approves it. It seems to me Luigi had been denied the very care he needed to survive, and that it's possible that he was a victim of a system that left him broken, discarded, and driven to a breaking point. So I guess it's for people to decide if he was a victim of this system, or was he simply just a disturbed individual looking for justification for his violent ideology? In the end, his motivations may never be fully understood, but one thing is clear. For Luigi, this wasn't about money, it was about justice. Thank you all so much for watching The Dark Side of Dollars, and as always, the truth lies in the details. Subscribe for more content.